Hi, this is Lisa from Local King Rubber Stand. Have you got a chance to take a look at Local King summer new release? If you haven't, make sure you check our online DVD library and then try to find out the new release preview. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to show you something very interesting. Every tutorial that I create, I always think about, is there anything that I can share with you? So today's tutorial is going to be one awesome project. Okay, today's tutorial, the coloring part is nothing special. I am going to use the same technique that I just created for this card. That was the last tutorial. Make sure you check it out. I think it's a 146-3. So just check it out how I created this card. But I am going to show you how to create this card. Okay, so this is the one that is very common. What I do is I just stamping with a black impact and I use magic marker. You can use a watercolor, you can use any blending tool, you do whatever, you just coloring, right? But sometimes you don't want to spend too much time to coloring. That's why I come up with this tutorial. This one is a kind of like a what I call is a 1 minute watercolor technique. All you need is 1 minute, and you don't have to be a professional artist to be able to do that. Anybody can do it, and I can guarantee you no skill required. Okay. So, and then today's tutorial is more focused on this layout, how you can create this shaker card. Have you watched the Ride with the Wave, this shaker thing through shaker card? Shaker card, yeah, but I like to share something other people don't have. So the idea was actually come from this. Okay, that was a beautiful mistake. If you haven't watched this tutorial, check it out. So that was with acetate, and I made a mistake in this when I was playing this card. That's how I get an idea for this one. So the idea is come from after the idea. That's awesome. That's what I really into it, and I really enjoy up to the challenge. So every time I just thinking about what else I can offer my viewer and my customer. So that's really focus on this. This one, you won't believe how easy it is, and I'm sure when your friend receive this card, they are going to be so happy because it's just something different, isn't it? Okay, so every tutorial that I create, I try to not repeat the same technique. So it's not that easy, you know, because there's 146 tutorial and I always have to come up with something new. So, but I try to not repeat the same technique. So in today's tutorial, this is repeated. If I'm going to just fast forward it. If you like to learn more, please just check the DVD library and then just go back to see how did I do that 1 minute watercoloring. Okay, if you have any question, always feel free to leave a comment and let me know. I am trying to do my best to reply on your message. So this coloring technique, I'm going to just fast forward it, is just a very simple technique. Oh, you know what? Actually, because I choose these two color, I am actually going to use a sunflower because I already did this one, right? So I'm going to try the sunflower. I think sunflower, those yellow, will work well with these two colors. Okay, let's move to the next. You know, the prototype is always great idea. You know, it's just help you to preventing wasting your material. So when I was making this card, and then I just used half size or letter size, and I die cut it, and then this kind of glitter paper, they are kind of thin, so they can cut through to 2 sheets. If you use a regular cardstock, I'm going to show you the difference to do it. And remember, don't force your machine, especially if your machine is automatic, like a Vagabond or Big Shot. If your Vagabond or Big Shot machine is jammed, send me an email or a message. I teach you how to release it. Don't put in the garbage. There's some kind of button they can release the pressure so that can save your machine. But always be careful. If you have a two machine, what I do is I usually keep one for die cut, one for embossing. I'm sure a lot of you have a two machine, right? So that way you don't have to keep changing the plate. If you don't, remember, don't force your machine. If you find out when you cranky it, if a little bit too tight, there's always something wrong, so don't force it. I actually killed one of my machine. They actually explode because I think that was a color bug because I didn't pay attention. I just put too much and just forced it, and it actually kind of explode. No kidding, like okay. So when I was making this card, and then I actually I just do half size, and after I die cut it, I managed to cut it, and then when I folding it, and I was thinking about if I want to put the foam tape on like an acetate to make it like a shaker card, and then because the thickness, and then after you folding it, they are not going to, because that thickness, they are not going, I don't know how to describe that, but when you folding it, is not going to line out those paper because that the thickness of the foam tape, right? So, and I think, okay, if I don't want to make a shaker card, I only want to just seal it with a piece of acetate like this. I can do that. So because acetate is they don't have like a thickness, right? So I don't have to worry about that. I can pretty much line out this, and if they don't if they show this white gap, we can just easily trimming it. But if you want to add the thickness like a foam tape, you won't be able to folding it because the foam tape will have a thickness, right? You have to give them some room when they folding it. So, and I say, okay, I'm going to give a little bit gap. So when I folding my card, I kind of give a 1/4 inch of the thickness, because that way you can do like a double shading card. You can do the front and the back, they both put those shaking micro bead, and then you can put the other ones like insert the other piece of acetate. See, it's endless creation. That just give me the other great idea. I'm going to make a double shaker card that you can shake from the front and the back, and then also I'm going to put something in the between. So, and then the people who receive the card, they can see from the front, they can from the back, they can shaking. So that's going to be the next tutorial. Okay, so that's why when I measure the card, I give a 1/4 inches width to make sure when I want to open it, they have a room to go with it. So let me show you this one. Let me remove the something. Can you see? There's like a 1/4 inch thickness. So that way when you folding it, see how my card line out. It's like a little CD case, like an album. They have enough room if you want to do both sides shaking. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Okay, so this card, let me see how much was it? Okay, so the width is 5 1/4, and then the width is 5 1/4. Sorry. The height is 5 1/4. The length is actually 10.75. It's a 3/4, like a 3/4. And then I kind of cut a little bit big because I, just in case, right? If they don't line up, I have some room. I can trimming it to make they line up. Okay, so I am going to. Oh, and then one more thing. Okay, see, when I drawing the line, I draw from the front. They kind of leave that kind of mark. It's kind of not pleasant. If you are picky like me, this is what you're going to do. When you draw a square line, you are going to draw from the back. So I have a 5 1/4 and 1/4. Okay, and then see, this time they don't have that ugly folding like a scrolling mark. like this, right? Okay, so I have a front and I have a back, and then I'm going to do 5 and oops, see, mistake again. I am going to do 5 1/4 and the 5 1/4. So that's going to be my, and then you folding it. Okay, so this is going to be my front, and then this is become inside of my car, and then you can do any color you like. I just want to make a like a kind of glitter, but I think these is two are great combination, and with the sunflower, that sunflower just pop out so pretty, isn't it? Okay. And then, like this one, I actually use regular cardstock, and then you can decorate some. This is a too light, can barely see. I was using happiness background, but you can use a script. You can do anything to decorate it. And then sometimes people ask me, so where I'm going to write my message? Think about it. How you going to write the message? So in my previous tutorial, I was talking about you can seal the back if you don't want to see those kind of glue in the back. You can just cut one more piece. So what I will do is I probably cut the one light green and then cover the back of this one if you want to write the message. Or you can use a Sharpie, the permanent marker. You can write the message there. Be creative. When you have a question, try to answer yourself first. If you can't find the answer, send me a message and then I will do my best to help you. Okay, and next we are going to see what I did is I just glued 2 pieces of cardstock like this one, right? This glitter paper, the thickness I think is probably around the 65 pound. It's just like a regular cardstock. And then, but the one problem is this. The material is not, if sometimes I feel like they are kind of plastic, and then when I run to the die cut machine, they usually don't have a clean cut. I'm going to share you a trick, what you're gonna do. Okay, so I use the purple tape to kind of tape the both like a both sheet, like 2 sheets, and then just to be careful, those tape, I found out they are still very moisture. Okay, here is a trick. You are going to grab a piece of just a scrap paper, okay? Just a single sheet will do, but I'm going to just use a double. And then let me grab my packaging here. So that's my die cut on the bottom, right? And then I'm going to just put this scrap paper on top. Okay. You run to the machine. If this scrap paper is cut, that means your glitter paper is cut. If this paper is not completely cut through, that means your glitter paper is not cut through. It's kind of, you can use this for the like vinyl too. Something is like hard material, but remember, be careful with your machine because every machine is different. Don't force your machine. If you damage your machine, don't sue me because I'm keeping warning you. Don't force your machine. You are the person, you know what's the best of your machine, right? So I'm going to just remove this one and I will be right back. Okay, so this is what it looks like. If this piece is come off, that means, and I even have like a 2 sheet. Okay, if this one come off, that means your glitter paper is come off. But you probably just have to be careful when you pop out this die cut. They should be come off. Just be careful. See, isn't that an awesome trick? Okay, so they will come off, or sometimes you find some kind of hard material. You are not sure they are cut or not. Just put a piece of regular. Like a scrap paper, just regular printing paper, they will do too. And then you kind of just lose it, right? Okay, and then we are going to move to the next. Here is something very important. Remember, I give that like a 1/4 inches gap, the folding area, like at least the thickness is very important. If you don't have that thickness when you folding your card, this is going to look like this. It's going to show the gap because they don't have a room. But if you have that folding space, they will line up perfectly. Okay, like I say, depend which friend you're making the card for. Your best friend, totally worth it. For somebody regular, just regular cards that would do. Okay, see how pretty? Isn't that pretty? Very pretty already, right? That sunflower just pop out, and then I have a front with a pattern paper and the back with a glossy. Now, because I want to use I want to make it like a double shaker. Actually, this one, let me make it like a double shaker, see what it look like. It's the same position, right? So now I am going to kind of just line up my both side, right? And then how, like you cannot just eyeball it, put your die cut here. It's not going to line up your window card. Your window, the front window and the back window is going to over the line. It's going to looks very ugly. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you kind of just you know, tap, make sure they are lined out, right? And then you are going to put your die cut back to that the die cut area, the cutting area. Okay, and then somewhere around there, right, a little bit off is okay, they can't really see it. And then you are kind of just like a folding, like a pushing that die cut, but use one of your finger holding your die cut, try to secure that area. There you go, somewhere around there, try to do your best. And then you're going to tape it. And then remember, what was the trick? When you want to cut through those clear paper, you got to put the piece of paper on top. As soon as that paper is die cut, that means your paper is die cut. But before you do that, kind of just, you know, try to organize your paper, make sure they are lined up. Okay, I will be right back. So I put my die cut here, and then piece of regular cardstock on there. Okay, don't go more than 2 sheets. 2 sheets and your machine is going to jam. Don't send me an email and say, Lisa, you just murdered my machine. Not me, it is the neighbor. Again, if this one is loose, that means your die cut is die cut. If it's not loose, okay, don't try to peel off it because it's not going to come up. But they are I don't know what kind of, they look like a paper, but if sometimes feel like they are kind of plastic on a vinyl. So just be careful. As long as your scrap paper is cut, you shouldn't have a problem. Okay, while I'm doing this one, I like to respond one of the email. Most of the time, people ask me, say, Lisa, your shipping is too expensive. You know, I am really sorry because all the shipment is coming from Canada. We do not make money from the shipping costs. Sometimes you check your package. If the sometimes we actually pay more than we charge. And then on the shipping, we don't have a bill to offer you free shipping. That's why when the promotion, we are having a promotion, take the advantage because that discount, you totally can cover your shipping. And then like I say, the markers, the mushroom there is big, and then they usually cost more. Sound like a box of small markers says $24.99. The shipping fee is $16. I know it's ridiculous, but if you can combine your order with your friend, you know, if you like purchase more marker, like a mushroom, if you order 2, is free shipping, which is great. You save. If you order separately, that's $32 shipping. But if you order together, you can check this month's special. 2 sets of mushrooms free shipping, and it's actually cheaper. You save some money. 3 sets of mushrooms is even cheaper, and then you save the shipping fee. So just check if you like to combine the order with your friend. Always send me an email. I'm willing to work with you, work with you, help a little bit on the shipping cost. Yeah, but if you only order 1 set of markers, I really don't have a room. And you check your package. I charge you $16 for a small box marker. It cost me probably $20 to ship that set of marker to you. Okay, so that's how I like to respond about the shipping fee. If we overcharge charge you the shipping fee. After we ship your order, check your email. We usually offer you the different. We offer the store credit so that you can use that store credit for your next purchase. We do not make money from the shipping cost. I hope that explains everything. And then sometime due to the COVID-19, sometime your shipment probably stuck at the border for the inspection. So give it a little bit time. All your package is covered with the loss and damage. If your shipment didn't make it, we will send you the second one. But please give a little bit more time, and then it will be there. I promise. Okay, so this is what I did, die cut it. Okay, so I have two sheets, front and the back, and then now I am going to seal with the acetate. So take the advantage of those acetate or large sheets in the very low and think it's going to run out soon. But the small sheets does the job too. And I am going to just use, I'm going to fix this one. Just use the tape, okay, one at a time, okay? Don't try to put all the tape and then you accidentally touch it and then it just ruining your artwork. Okay, so just using this double side tape, and because it's inside, we're going to cover it. It's not going to see. And then I am going to just put the piece acetate. The size of this acetate is just a little bit smaller than this the front card. The front card, remember, that was a 5 and a quarter. The small one is the 450 by 450. So you can just kind of seal this front first. Okay, so be careful. Okay, so that's all front. A little bit off, but after we put the black, you can barely see it. If you use a light color, they're probably going to show like they are not perfect line out. But if you put the back, they can, they don't really show. Okay, now we are going to working on our shaker card. So we are going to use the foam tape. Okay, so I have a foam tape here, and then you try to do your best to seal that one. So we are going to working on the front, don't work on the back, okay? So working on the front, and then is this is a good pair of scissors. It's a kind of like a Teflon, is that called Teflon? And then they don't stick. And then you try do your best to seal this sunflower, and then you don't really have to worry as long as they are kind of close the gap. Just make sure that those micro beads, they don't leak. Okay, just like leaves. Okay, so you're going to seal the both front and back. See, like here, I am start from here. Okay, oops, and then here. Okay, so you know what I mean, right? I'm going to just seal this sunflower, and then I am going to also seal the other part. Okay, so try to do your best. It doesn't matter. And then actually I'm going to just let me finish, and there's something else you got to know. Okay, so I seal this. I think it's pretty much good. And then here I'm going to just give a little bit. If I don't do that, after you put the other backing, here is going to collapse. So just give a little bit support here. Support here. Okay. Oops. Now be careful. Oh, this is so sticky. If this happen, you use your glue remover. Okay, so I'm going to just fast forward to finish the other side. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so for this card, I just do one side shaking, right? But today's this card, I'm going to make a both sides shaking. And what I'm going to do that is, so remember the backing, that was the same size, right? And then what I do is I actually which one is the direction? I actually die cut it. Remember that was one piece, right? But I found out if I die cut it, it's much easier to handle because we're going to remove that backing, right? So just make sure that's okay. So the size of this card was 5 by a quarter, right? 5 by a quarter. And then remember the width was a 5.75. So what I did is I just trimming 5 and a quarter and 5 and a quarter. And then I use the other piece. I make a little bit wider, and then I am going to just put there. So after I put there and I put this one back there, the binding area is not going to show. It's just like a better finish. So what I'm going to do is I just apply some tape there, and then this one I'm going to just I'm sure you're going to have one extra piece of cardstock, so I'm going to just put there. And then after I put those beads in, they can folding better. Okay, so remember I seal my acetate with double-sided tape here and my double-sided tape there, right? And then we're going to do the shaking part. So far I still haven't received my tape yet. I want to put my bead first and then shaking. So there's a lot of, they have a my previous tutorial, there was those kind of massage store micro bead you can find from the Michaels. They also have a Queenies, those little jewelry store is really pretty, but they are a little bit more pricey, so it depends which frame you are making it. Okay, so I think that will be beautiful color. Also, this one I got it from the craft show, is called Duress, and then they have too many different kind of sections. So actually I think I'm going to, so you can just put your card on the side, see which color will do. I think this kind of I don't know, kind of like a dark star is going to look nice. So I'm going to take a look, see if I can find online. I got these from Marcos paper, but I don't know do they carry these anymore. You know, but these are on the container right down www.duress.com. I'm going to provide the information. You go check their website, see if you can find it. Okay, so I'm going to just put a little bit big amount, so don't be cheap. Put more, but like I say, depend who you're making the card, right? You want to give them enough amount so they can shake. Otherwise, what's the point? Okay, and now I'm going to just remove the backing, and then I'm going to just fast forward. You don't want to see how I'm peeling off the tape. That's boring. Okay, so I peel the backing of the tape. You got to be very careful. You can't have anything stick on the foam tape, like these little star. If that's stuck there, you won't be able to, oops, see, you won't be able to seal your window. So just be careful, and if you find out too much, you kind of just shake it a little bit. Shake. Okay, and now you're going to be very careful. Do your best. If if you can't line up, we can always trimming it after it, but just try to do your best. Eyeball it, make sure it's lined up, and then place your card back. Okay, so let's do these. Okay, good there. Okay, after you put the topping on top, you got to press hard to make sure you seal that foam tape, otherwise your beads is going to leak everywhere. Okay, see? That looks very nice, right? Both shaking. And then you can see if this bothers you, you can just use your paper trimmer. You can trimming a little bit, make sure they are completely lined up. Okay, just like that. Oops, it's leaking somewhere. I didn't seal it. So you got to make sure you seal it. Otherwise, this little star is going to falling out. Okay, make sure you seal it. Okay, see, I just seal it. Oops, there's one tape there. Okay, so this is the inside, this is the front, and I just punch 2 holes and I make a shaker car. And then where's my flower? Oh, here's a little bit popping out, which I'm going to just put a little bit glue to fix it. Okay, and then the next, you can decide where you want to put your flower. You can put in the front, but I think I'm going to just put the inside. And then so the people, when they open it, it's much better. And I'm going to put my sentiment stamp on top. Okay, here is something else that I like to share. I don't know, do you know this product or not? So see in the back, you can just use a clear glue. And a lady, she was very nice. She told me you can use this Tomboy adhesive. It's actually, they don't really show. It's good for violin too. And then, but I want to share something with you. If you're working with a very fine die cut, like those kind of new vase, they are so fine line. What are you going to do, right? Have you heard this one? This is called the micro dots. It's kind of micro glue dots. They come with a lot of tiny little glue dots, but you have to be very careful. They are really sticky. Okay, so I'm going to do some research to see if I can find this micro dot. I don't know who is selling it. I think now the best person probably is just Amazon, right? So you have to be careful because if your finger is touch here, is going to pick up the dot. So what I'm going to do is I usually just kind of use the side of this one to hold it. You don't need a lot. Usually you only need like the fine area like here. It's hard to put the glue, right? So I just put on top and then they actually pick up some glue dots. Okay, so again, according from these instructions, they can be reused too many times. Okay, so I think that's what I have been using for a while. So just don't touch with your finger because any place you touch, they are going to pick up those dots and then they are so sticky. Let's see, can you see? This is some kind, oh yeah, there you go, that angle. You can see some dots, right? You don't have to completely cover this die cut, just some part is enough. And then I am going to just kind of eyeball to put my place. So that micro dots is good for like a detail. If you have like a very detail, that should work just fine. And then remember, local kings die cut, they all have some kind of popping area, like a popping die cut. So you just kind of pop, like remove them, they will become like a 3D. So this, what I call is a double shaker card. What do you think? Okay, I'm gonna put the sentiment and we'll be right back. Okay, so remember the Sentiments Library binders. If you haven't watched this tutorial, make sure you check the tutorial. In this tutorial, this is how I storage all my sentiment stamp, so it's easy to find. Okay, so that's my final project. I think it's really pretty. It's a double shaker card, and this is the other one. So that's today's tutorial. I hope you like it. If you find out, if you learn something, make sure you give me a thumb up. If you don't like the tutorial, give me a thumb up too. Well, but write it down why you don't like this tutorial. So this is a Lisa from Local King Rubber Stamp, and remember the 10% coupon code is LK101530. It's available between June 15th to June 30th, and then that so you can get a 30% off or plus more discount during or June promotion. So this is Lisa from Local King Rubber Stamp. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.